The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Today I will be talking about one of the leading productivity app, the lead assignment and distribution automation. The lead assignment and distribution automation helps you to fairly and intelligently distribute leads, or for that matter any other entities, among the available resources, and thereby removing any chance of cherry picking. Let me very briefly describe the nature of today's webinar. Lines of all the participants are muted. I recommend the use of chat window in case you have any question, and I will try to answer most of the questions, if not all, in the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. My name is Ninad, and I'm the business manager for the lead assignment and distribution automation at iNogic. Speaking of iNogic, we are a leading service provider and ISV for past more than a decade. We have exclusive Dynamics 365 products, and we are very much active in the Dynamics 365 community. Our blogs are extremely popular and appreciated by the community. We truly believe in the philosophy of one-click solution, which is building productivity apps that reduces multiple steps which otherwise a CRM user has to take. Now, as you can see on the slide, we have various applications on the offering. I would like to take a very quick moment and briefly describe some of them. Maplytics is certified for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and helps businesses around the world to plot, plan, visualize, and analyze Dynamics CRM data on the map, and it offers seamless mapping services. Key features include managing territories, route optimization, smart appointment planner, and many more. One of my favorite apps from the bouquet is the SharePoint Security Sync. Excuse me. It's a comprehensive solution for integrating Dynamics 365 with SharePoint. It also synchronizes the security privileges from the Dynamics 365 to SharePoint, ensuring secure, reliable access to all of your confidential documents. Now, apart from developing these awesome applications, we are also SI. We do assist partners and customers with offshore development services. So in case you have any requirement, maybe a small customization to a world-changing idea, I would request you to get in touch with us at crm@inogic.com. So let's see the agenda for today. I will start with the scope of the CRM automation, followed by what are the challenges in the sales process automation. Then we'll talk about the key features provided by lead assignment and distribution automation, followed by a live demonstration, and finally the Q&A session. Well, I was thinking about the scope of automation, and here's what I have found. A survey has provided an insight by claiming that automation in the sales boosts productivity within the department by 14.5% while bringing down the marketing costs by a staggering 12.2%. Automation truly has the potential to provide these double benefits. Now, the next step is to identify whether we can automate the sales process, and if yes, the bigger question, how? Well, the answer to both these questions is our solution, the lead assignment and distribution automation. A simple way to manage all the inbound leads within the Dynamics 365 CRM. Before we discuss the lead assignment and distribution automation in detail, here are some of the common challenges that most organizations usually face when it comes to automatic lead assignment or the record assignment. Well, the first and the foremost is definitely the cherry picking of the leads or the records. The sales representative, the service representative, or for that matter, any CRM user can cherry pick the records based on their convenience. We also don't have any provision to keep track of the leads which are assigned to the team members. Further, in native CRM, there is no provision to distribute the leads in an organized manner. And even if the distribution of the leads cannot take place fairly. Now, when I say fairly, it basically means the record or the leads cannot be assigned to the team members based on their available capacity. Now let's see how lead assignment and distribution automation can overcome these challenges. Here are some of the key features that the lead assignment and distribution automation has to offer. The first one is the even distribution in which the records, the leads, or any other custom entity that you may have configured are assigned to the resources in a sequential and a circular pattern using the round robin algorithm. Don't worry about the algorithms. I will be explaining the algorithms that the solution supports very, very shortly. Next is the fair distribution in which the records are assigned to the resources based on the available capacity of the resource. Then we also allow the criteria selection. That's my personal favorite feature, by the way. In criteria selection, you can create rules based on a certain criteria. Now, let's say I want to assign leads which are generated from US, and I want those leads to be assigned to, let's say, user A, user B, and user C. Well, we can definitely achieve this with the help of criteria. Not just that, we can also further have some rules based on something like the hot leads generated from website from United States should be assigned to, let's say, A, B, C, and D. The cold leads generated from AppSource or maybe a newsletter, for example, from the US area should be assigned to X, Y, and Z. Is it possible? Definitely yes. With our solution, with the help of certain criteria, we can definitely create some assignment rules for that. Any record that satisfies the criteria will be definitely taken into consideration for the automatic allocation. However, if the record does not satisfy any criteria, that record will not be considered for automatic allocation. Now, we are talking about allocating the resource, maybe the lead, maybe other entities to certain users. But what if one of the user is unavailable for the day, or maybe he has taken a planned leave for a couple of days? Now, in that case, we don't want the lead or the records to be assigned to that user. With lead assignment and distribution automation, we can set up the user availability as well. So the solution will check for the user's availability, and if the user is available, only in that case the record will be assigned to that user. We also have queues. Now, the entire process of the lead assignment and distribution automation is based on queues, and we will be deep diving this during the demonstration very soon. Further, we also provide dashboards. Now, all the data that is accumulated by the lead assignment and distribution automation is in a very report-friendly manner. This means that you can create your own CRM charts and dashboard to visualize the data. Last but definitely not the least, the work item assignment. The solution also support to assign the work items based on daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Now, let's see the algorithms that are currently supported by the lead assignment and distribution automation with a small graphical example. Now, on your left-hand side, you can see the round robin algorithm, and on the right-hand side, you may notice the capacity algorithm. Now, for the round robin algorithm, you may also observe that I have applied a certain criteria. Now, if the lead that is being created is for a new prospect and the prospect is not an existing customer, only in that case, the lead will be going to the pre-sales queue, which is definitely controlled by the round robin algorithm. However, if the lead that is being created is for an existing customer, then rather than the pre-sales queue, the lead will go to the post-sales queue, which is being controlled by the capacity algorithm. So what exactly is this round robin algorithm? Let us say, for an example, a lead is being created where the prospect is not an existing customer. So definitely the criteria is satisfied. Yes. And the selection criteria of the pre-sales queue is, since it's satisfied, the lead will fall in the pre-sales queue. This means that the record can be assigned to either Sam, John, or Mary. So the first lead that is being created will be assigned to Sam. The second one will be assigned to John. The third lead would be assigned to Mary. The fourth one is again assigned to Sam, fifth one for John, and so on. A simple example of a round robin algorithm. Quite simple, isn't it? Now let's see the capacity algorithm. Now here you will see a subtle difference, and that small or the subtle difference is for the capacity. Excuse me. This means that for any lead which is falling in the post-sales queue, before assigning the record to any of the users, we will first check whether the user has the available capacity. Now let's assume that to serve a lead that falls in the post-sales queue, the resource, whether it's Missy, Jacob, or Lena, they require at least 25 units of capacity. So if a new lead is being created, then in the current situation, Missy doesn't have any available capacity. She is probably working already on certain records, and that's why she doesn't have any capacity. So the solution will never consider Missy for assigning of the record. However, Jacob has got capacity of 50, so a new lead or the new record which hits the post-sales queue can be assigned to Jacob. However, the moment one record is assigned to Jacob, the available capacity will be reduced by 25 and the new available capacity would be 25. For the next lead, will be assigned to Lena, who has a current capacity of 100. And once the lead is assigned, 25 would be deducted and the available capacity would be 75. Perfect. Now this goes on till the time one of the resources, maybe Missy, Jacob, or Lena, closes any records which are assigned to them. Once these resources release these records, that's when the 25 units would be then added back to their available capacity. So that's how the round robin and the capacity algorithm is going to work. With that being said, let's dive into the live demo. Now to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my Sales Hub. Yes, I do have the lead assignment and distribution automation opened up in the new window, but let's first see the magic of lead assignment and distribution automation. Then I'll switch to the working of the lead assignment and distribution automation. Now here, for the demonstration purpose, I've just pre-filled some of the values for the lead. However, I have not saved the lead as of this moment. So let's say there is one prospect, Sheldon Cooper. I would love to have him as a prospect, but let's have Sheldon Cooper, who is interested in one of our fantastic solution, click to close. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this particular lead in my sales hub. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make the rating of this lead as, let's say, hot for that matter. And now I'm going to save this particular record. However, before I hit on save, kindly note the owner. Now, since I have logged in with the name of Jonathan J, that's who is the owner of the record. So let me go ahead, hit on save, and what will happen is our solution will kick in and it will assign the lead of Sheldon Cooper to the appropriate person. Now, just giving a quick peek, I'm just going back to my lead assignment and distribution automation, and just a quick peek. Hot lead queue is responsible for it. We'll talk about hot lead queue in detail in few moments from now. I just want to show that these are the three users, Mia, Nathan, and Nia. These are the three users which are present in the hot lead queue. So the lead of Sheldon Cooper that we created just now will be assigned to either Mia or Nathan or Nia as per the round robin algorithm. So let's go back to the lead of Sheldon Cooper and let me try to refresh this. And I'm expecting the change in the ownership. Okay, not yet. Let's wait for a few moments. By the time our solution is working in the background, let me try the tried and tested Control Shift R, the hard reset. It shouldn't take this much time. Oh, here it is. So now the ownership of the lead has changed from Jonathan to Nia, one of the users who was present in the queue. Imagine the number of hours or the time it can save for the sales manager or for the person who would be manually looking at the rating of the lead and then assigning it to the right person. It's a time consuming job, and I'm just talking about one condition. If the rating of the lead is hot, assign it to one of the three members. Imagine if we go on and increase the complexities the way we mentioned at the beginning. A lead which is generating from a particular country with the rating and let's say with the lead source. The more and more complex you make it, the manual task of assigning the lead becomes more and more complex and error prone. That entire thing can be eliminated with our solution, the lead assignment and distribution automation. Now let me quickly explain to you what it takes in order for the lead assignment and distribution automation to work properly. So let me go back to my lead assignment and distribution automation and let me close the queue part. Once the solution is installed and configured appropriately, you will see quite a few entities. But one of the most important entity is the assignment configuration. Now, as we can see within the assignment configuration, I have configured it on the lead entity. However, as I had mentioned, the lead assignment and distribution automation can be used to assign the leads, the cases, emails, tasks, you name it. Not just out-of-box entities, but even if you have some custom entities within your CRM, you can leverage our solution to automatically assign it to the users. Perfect. So for the webinar purpose, I have configured it for the lead entity. Let me open the lead entity for you. I've already made it open. So here's my lead entity, and I've got a couple of rules: the hot lead rule and the cold lead rule. Now, just to give you a heads up, hot lead rule was the rule which was responsible a few moments back for changing the ownership from Jonathan to Nia. That was the rule that actually was taking place behind the scenes. So let me open up the hot lead rule for you. So here's my hot lead rule. We start with the basic name, the assignment configuration, there's an optional description, perfect. The real magic lies in the execution criteria section. Let's start with the first one, which is the criteria mode. Now, as we can see, we support a couple of criteria mode. We do support a couple of criteria mode. The first one is simple and the second one is the advanced. So here's my simple and advanced. Now in the simple criteria mode, you will be presented with most of your system views related to the lead record or the lead entity, and you can select any one of them. However, if you want to go ahead for a more complex scenario, the way we discussed, the country, maybe the rating, maybe the lead source, you want to consider everything, then we can select advanced and provide the appropriate fetch XML. So just go to advanced find, fill in the appropriate conditions, download the fetch XML, just copy, paste the fetch XML in this particular box, and you're done. As simple as it is. Perfect. Once you have the criteria mode and the fetch XML, then comes the execution order. Now, this is extremely useful in case you plan to create multiple rules on the same entity. So let's say I've got one rule which is hot rating, which is creating of the hot rating lead. That's one rule. On the same lead entity, I can create one more rule. Lead which is created with the rating as hot and the lead source as website. So as we can see, there are multiple rules that we can assign on the same lead entity. In that case, we can mention the execution order. And what happens is, in such case, each rule will be executed in the sequential manner basis on the execution order that we mentioned right here, and whichever rule under which the criteria is satisfied first, that would be taken into consideration and the remaining would be completely ignored. The next feature is consider availability. Now, consider availability is an awesome feature. I have dedicated a couple of tabs for consider availability by the end of this particular demonstration. So let me just hold on for consider availability for a moment. Let me go ahead and I assure you I'll come back to consider availability. Okay, so the next one is the queue. Queue is probably one of the most important aspect of this assignment rule. Let me just open up the queue for you. I think I have given you a glimpse of hot lead queue when we were assigning the lead of Sheldon, and this is basically where we configure the members whom you intend to assign this particular record. So whether it's Mia, Nathan, and Nia in this case. Okay, coming back to my assignment rule and scroll down. Now, here are three very critical assignment properties. The first one is which algorithm do you want to use, whether you want to use round robin or capacity. So I have selected the round robin for this. And the next one is the maximum work items that are allowed to be assigned. Now I've kept it blank for the webinar. However, let's say your business use case is similar to something like, you know that your sales representative can handle 20 leads on a daily basis. So what we can do is we'll mention 20 right here, and the period will be definitely set to daily. So what happens is I'll switch back to my presentation and I'll quickly tell you how it works. So we are assuming that the maximum work items is 20 in this case. So let's say if Sam is already occupied or has been assigned 20 lead records on that day under his name, then Sam will not be considered by our solution to assign any more new leads or the records. Now, in case if a new lead or a record is being created, that would be assigned to John or Mary till the time even they don't hit the maximum cap of 20 records. Now, I'm sure one of the questions that might be popped up in your mind is, hey Ninad, what if Sam, John, and Mary, all of them, they have been assigned 20 records for the day? What will happen in that case? Now, in that case, what will happen is the new leads that are being created would simply sit in the pre-sales queue. And once Sam, John, or Mary releases the resource, only after that, the new leads would be assigned to them. Now, let me quickly go back to my CRM window. So that's all about the round robin algorithm. Now, let's see what it takes to configure the capacity algorithm. So here's my same lead entity, and we have got a new rule, the cold lead rule, which is basically using the capacity algorithm. Now, most of the information that you may see on the cold lead rule assignment is very similar to the hot lead. We have the same name, we have the assignment configuration, we have the optional description, the criteria mode, the fetch XML, execution order, and we do have consider availability. No, I haven't forgotten. I know I have to come back to consider availability a few more moments, please. So the queue is also there. I have configured it for the cold lead queue in this case. An interesting factor is right here. Almost everything is same except the unit effort required for the work item. So let's assume that each resource requires a certain unit to complete a task. For example, in our case, let's assume that to process the lead, the user or the resource requires 2 units. So in simple words, to process a couple of leads, the user should have 4 capacity. To process 3 leads, the user should have an available capacity of 6, and so on. Now the question that arises is, where do we define the base capacity, and how easy it is to find out what is the available capacity? So again, it's quite an easy job. What I can do is I'll show you the cold lead queue. So here's my queue, and the queue has similar members. We have Nathan, we have Revon, and we have Shirley. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open one of the record, Shirley. So as soon as the record gets open, you may observe that we have defined the base capacity as 70, and Shirley has the available capacity of 68. Just by looking at this, I know that since 2 is the unit effort required, Shirley is currently working on 1 lead, and that's why out of the base capacity of 70, she still has the available capacity of 68. So that's where we can define the available capacity, or sorry, the base capacity, and as and when the leads are getting assigned, the available capacity will be deducted, and as and when Shirley is going to release the lead, maybe by either qualifying or disqualifying, the available capacity will go on increasing. Quite simple, isn't it? Let's see the capacity algorithm in action. So let me open up the new lead, and we have Penny here, and she is interested in click to export. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to make the rating as cold, and I'm going to save this. So a few moments for the solution, and once I come back and once I refresh this, I'm expecting the change of ownership from Jonathan to either Shirley or Reven or Nathan, one of the 3 which is present in the cold lead queue. So either Nathan or Revon or Shirley. So let me go back to the record and just hit refresh. And here we have got. Now the record is owned by Revon, and she can start working on the records or the leads. Just for making double sure, so here it is. So the base capacity was 25 and the available capacity is 21. That means Insight tells me that Revon is currently working on a couple of leads because the available capacity is still 21. 4 have been consumed. So that's how easy it is when we are talking about assigning the records using either the round robin algorithm or using the capacity algorithm. Now, as promised, let me also talk about the one more interesting feature that I have kept it for the later part, which is consider availability. So as I was mentioning during the introductory features of lead assignment and distribution automation, what if one of the user goes on a planned leave or is not available for the day? Now, in that case, we don't want the leads to be assigned to such a user. So to achieve this, we have something what we call it as the status types. Now, what does the status type look like? It looks something like this, where we are mentioning the availability. So anytime I make a user as available, the availability status changes to yes. However, if the user is on a break or a medical leave, personal leave, or something unavailable, then the availability status would automatically for that user would become no. Well, it's quite easy to create the status as per your business use case. So let's say I'm creating one of the new one, and let's say I'm saying giving the name as general leave, just for demonstration purpose. So every time I'm selecting general leave, what should be the availability status? It should be definitely not available. So let me hit on save. And now when we want to make a user unavailable, what I can do is I can go to the active vacations right here under the vacations, and I can say, okay, so I want to add up a new vacation for general leave, and I'll select the user. So let's say Revon is going on a leave, and I'll look out for the status, which is I've just created right now, general leave. Let's say the user, Revon in this case, is going on for a leave from 1st of May till, let's say, the end of the week. She's not available. She might be going out with her family for a long vacation. Perfect. So once I go ahead and make it as save, the system, what it will do is from 1st May at 8 a.m., the availability status of Revon would be general leave. And do remember, when I say general leave, the availability is no. So that means from the period of 1st May till 6th May, none of the leads that are hitting the system will be ever allocated to Revon. Now, why it won't be available? Why won't it will be assigned? That's because under the assignment rule, I have mentioned the consider availability as yes. So every time if before assigning a lead to the record, to the resource, the system is going to consider the availability. If the user is available, only in that case the record will be allocated. Wow, that was a long one. Perfect. One more feature that I actually wanted to show you is also the dashboards. Now, dashboards are pretty interesting. It gives you a quick view of what's being assigned and which user is working on how many records and so on. We can also now, since I have configured it only for the lead entity, it's showing me that today I have assigned 12 records, 12 leads to different users basis on the conditions and so on and so forth. One of the most common questions that I get when I'm prospecting is, hey Ninad, the solution is great, it works well. What will happen? Let's say I'm installing it today. From today, once the solution is configured, all the leads will be taken care automatically with the help of the solution. Perfect, works well. What about existing leads in my system? The leads which are already present prior to the installation of the lead assignment and distribution automation. Don't worry, we have got that base covered as well. So let me go back to my Sales Hub. And for simplicity, what I'm doing is I'm just opening the leads. And let's say I have certain leads within my system. Now, this is just a hypothetical one because these leads are already assigned. But let's say if I have got 14, 15 odd leads in my system, I select the leads, and at the top, you may notice there is a run assignment button. So what happens with the run assignment button is the moment I hit on this run assignment, the existing leads will be taken one by one and it will be compared with the assignment rules that we have configured. And if the lead is satisfying the criteria of the assignment rule, then it would be again automatically assigned to the correct user. So like I mentioned, we have got that base covered as well. Great. I'm pretty sure by now your visualization in the mind must have begun. Hey, I can use this awesome solution for, let's say, automating leads in my organization, or maybe cases in my organization, or maybe some custom entities that you may have. So if I may request, I'm just launching a very quick 15-second poll in your organization, which entity you would like to enable for the auto assignment. I request you to kindly cast your vote now. So in your organization, which entity you would enable for auto assignment, whether it's lead. Oh, I've already started getting the poll. 100% lead. Definitely. That's why probably we had seen that survey which says, once you automate the sales process, it reduces the overall costs by almost 40, efficiency by 14%, reduces cost by almost 12%. Oh, we also have one more. So 80% are saying lead, and 20% goes for the custom entity or the out of box entity. Perfect, perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for casting your vote. Let me just close it for you. So for me, the leader, the winner is lead with almost 80%. Great. Wow, lovely. Moving to the next one. Let me switch back to my PowerPoint. So the lead assignment and distribution automation is supported from CRM version 9.x and above within the Dataverse. And we can install it on premise as well as in the online environment. So moving to the next one, the frequently asked questions that I have collated over multiple conversations with the prospects and the customers. Does the lead assignment and distribution automation work across devices seamlessly? Whether you are working from web or laptop, tab, or mobile devices, doesn't matter. It is seamless across all the devices. What Dynamics products do you support? Well, I just now said 9.x and above, Dataverse, online and on premises is the deployment model. Is there a way to track how many leads are assigned? Oh, definitely. One of the best ways is the dashboard that I demonstrated some time back. The next one, give me a second. What will happen to the existing leads? Oh, I think I just demonstrated by the end of the demonstration. You have that run assignment button, use it, and the leads would be assigned. Can the managers assess the individual performance of their team members? Yeah, definitely. Dashboards, again. How to get started? Let's hold on for this thought for 1 minute, a couple of slides down the line, and I'll get back to this question very soon. With that, the floor is yours. It's the time for the Q&A session. You have any questions, please use the chat window, and I'll be very happy to answer most of the questions. Can we have multiple rules on multiple entities? Yes, you can have multiple rules on multiple entities. Definitely yes. Second question, I have 3 custom entities. It really doesn't matter if you have 3 custom entities or multiple custom entities. Just enable it for the queues, and it will be taken care by the lead assignment and distribution automation solution very seamlessly. Okay, on a second thought, what I would suggest is, if you have any questions, just drop in the questions as an email to crm@inogic.com, and I'll be very happy to pick it up and give a personalized response for any questions that you may have. Okay, then, how to get started? I'm sure by now you are impressed with the lead assignment and distribution automation, and you want to get your hands on. Well, it's quite really simple. All you have to do is just go on the Microsoft AppSource, search for lead assignment and distribution automation, or you may visit our website, www.inogic.com, and you can download it from our website and then import the solution in your environment. In In either case, whether you download it from AppSource or whether you download it and install from our website, sorry, in either case, if you download it from the AppSource or from our website, you will be having a fully functional lead assignment and distribution automation for up to 15 days trial. Get it installed. Do let us know in case if you require our assistance in configuring the solution as per your business use cases. Drop in an email to crm@inogic.com, and I'll be extremely happy to hop on a quick call as per mutual calendar availability, and I'll be very happy to assist you in configuring the solution as per your business use cases. Okay, with that being said, probably the last one, a big thank you for each and every one of you for attending this webinar. It was my real pleasure to present the lead assignment and distribution automation solution to you, and I hope you liked the solution as well as my presentation. With iNogic, we are conducting webinars for various of our products. So our next webinar would be announced very soon, and I'm sure you'll be getting an emailer. See you soon in